On my 18th birthday, instead of cake, my adoptive parents handed me a garbage bag and said, "We only adopted you for the government money." I grabbed their financial records and discovered something that would destroy them completely. My name is Colton Reed, though I'd soon learn that wasn't the name my biological father had chosen for me. The woman speaking to me with ice-cold calculation was Beverly Reed, 52, a bank teller who'd been collecting $1,500 monthly in adoption subsidies for 18 years. That's $324,000 in government payments for raising me, and she was terminating our arrangement the moment the checks stopped. "The adoption subsidies end when you turn 18, Beverly said, fingers dancing across her calculator like she was tallying quarterly profits. That was always the deal. The contract is now complete. Harold Reed, my adoptive father, who managed inventory at a hardware store, couldn't even look at me. He'd taught me to fix engines over the years, but I now realized those lessons were just to keep me occupied, not because he cared about my development. You have until noon to vacate, Beverly continued, checking her watch with the same efficient gesture I'd seen thousands of times. That gives you 2 hours and 13 minutes to make arrangements. But Beverly had made one critical error in her calculated dismissal. She'd raised a forensic accountant without realizing it. See, while she'd been tracking my monetary value to the penny, I'd been developing skills she never bothered to notice. My part-time job at Jennings Auto Repair had taught me more than engine maintenance. Old man Jennings, a Navy veteran covered in tattoos, had been running a side business helping people track down financial fraud. He'd been teaching me investigative techniques, document analysis, and most importantly, how to follow paper trails. "You got natural instincts for this, kid," Jennings had told me months earlier while showing me how to cross-reference bank records. "Most people see numbers. You see patterns, inconsistencies, opportunities." 3 months living in Dallas, homeless shelters had sharpened those skills to a razor's edge. When you're surviving on nothing, you learn to notice everything. You document conversations, track behavioral patterns, and most importantly, you never stop analyzing your situation for leverage points. That's why, when Vincent Morales, a private investigator in an expensive gray suit, approached me at the Dallas Public Library, I wasn't surprised someone was looking for me. I'd been expecting this moment. "Colton Reed?" he asked, showing credentials that looked legitimate. "I've been searching for you for 3 months." Vincent's revelation changed everything. My biological father, Theodore Brennan, CEO of Brennan Oil Industries, had spent 18 years and millions of dollars trying to find me. He'd hired 14 different private investigators, lobbied for changes to Texas adoption law, and built an oil empire partly as a beacon, hoping I'd somehow see it and find my way home. "He died March 13th, Vincent said softly, 2 days before your 18th birthday. Heart attack at his desk while planning to fly to Dallas to meet you." The timeline was devastating. While I'd been working at the auto shop, planning what to say to Beverly and Harold at my birthday dinner, my real father was dying at his desk, still searching for me. But Vincent had more to reveal. Theodore had found me 3 years earlier. He'd tried to make contact, sent letters, even showed up at the Reed house once. Beverly and Harold had responded with lawyers, restraining orders, and threats of harassment charges. "They knew he was looking for you," Vincent said, showing me legal documents. "They knew someone wanted you desperately, and they hid it to keep collecting their monthly payments." The folder Vincent showed me contained email correspondence between Beverly and Theodore's lawyers. One message was highlighted. "Mr. Brennan's contact attempts are disruptive to our family structure. The monthly subsidies we receive from the state are irrelevant to this matter." She'd lied, she'd known everything, and kept it from me for money. Ms. Patterson, Theodore's lawyer, waited in a conference room on the 40th floor of downtown Dallas. The view overlooked the entire city, including the shelter where I'd been sleeping on a cot for 3 months. "Your father left everything to you," she said, placing documents across the mahogany table. "Brennan Oil Industries, valued at $91 million, 4 mansions across Texas. A private island he named Colton Island. Various investments totaling another $30 million in liquid assets. Theodore had also left me a handwritten letter and a key to a vault. The letter was 3 pages of rushed handwriting, like he knew he was running out of time. "My son, your mother died giving birth to you. Her name was Emily Colton, and you have her smile. I was 22, scared and weak when I signed the adoption papers. I regretted it within a week, but by then you were sealed behind legal walls I spent 18 years trying to break down. The vault Vincent drove me to contained 18 years of evidence. Theodore had bought birthday presents for every year we were apart, written letters he could never send, tracked my school progress through photos purchased from yearbook companies. The walls were covered with private investigator reports, newspaper clippings with my name circled in red ink, and age progression photos showing what I might look like at different stages of life. A USB drive labeled Final Message contained Theodore's last video, recorded the night before he died. Colton, tomorrow I'm flying to Dallas. After 18 years, I'm finally going to meet my son. I bought a restaurant reservation for your birthday dinner. I have 18 years of wishes saved up, all variations of the same thing. Bring my boy home. The timestamp showed March 12th. He died 6 hours later, holding a plane ticket to Dallas and my school photo. At 19, I became CEO of Brennan Oil Industries. The board members who'd watched Theodore search for me became my teachers, sharing stories about his obsession with finding me. Every major business decision had been followed by the question, will this help me find my son? The first thing I did was establish the Theodore Brennan Foundation, providing transitional housing for aged-out foster kids. The Dallas shelter where I live for 3 months now receives monthly donations, ensuring no one goes hungry or cold. But I had unfinished business with Beverly and Harold. Vincent's investigation revealed their financial situation had collapsed without my monthly subsidy. They'd moved to a smaller apartment with bars on the windows. Harold was working double shifts at the hardware store. Beverly had taken a second bookkeeping job at night. I visited them once wearing a suit that cost more than their monthly rent. We gave you what you needed, Beverly said when she opened the door, showing no surprise at seeing me. No, I replied calmly. You gave me what the state paid you to give. Theodore, who never met me, gave me everything. He gave me love that didn't require payment. Harold appeared behind her, looking exhausted. Colton, we heard about your inheritance. If you could see your way to helping us out, we did raise you for 18 years. The audacity should have made me angry. Instead, I felt only pity. You raised me for $324,000 in subsidies. By my calculation, you've been paid in full. I'd also discovered something else in Theodore's papers. He'd offered Beverly and Harold 10 times what the state was paying just to allow supervised visits. They'd refused, claiming it would be detrimental to my well-being. My well-being had been their shield, while they calculated my worth down to the penny. The Theodore Brennan Foundation has now placed 47 children with families who want children, not government checks. I interview every family personally. I know what questions to ask, what lies to look for. I know the difference between caregivers and parents, between obligation and love. Vincent now works exclusively for me, helping reunite families separated by the system. We've brought together 18 biological parents and children so far. Each reunion dinner I sponsor reminds me of the birthday meal Theodore planned but never got to share. Old man Jennings was right all those years ago when he joked I had oil in my blood. I inherited more than Theodore's fortune. I inherited his determination, his refusal to give up, his ability to turn loss into purpose. Every contract I sign as CEO, I sign as Colton Brennan, honoring the man who never stopped looking for me. The private island remains exactly as Theodore left it, filled with fishing equipment, sports gear, and books on every subject. He'd prepared for any version of me he might find, ready to love whoever I turned out to be. I go there when running his company feels overwhelming, sitting on the dock he built, fishing with rods he bought, existing in a space he created for us to share. Some nights I dream about that birthday dinner he planned. In my dreams, he makes it to Dallas. We sit across from each other, two strangers with the same face. He tells me he's sorry. I tell him I understand. We cry over chocolate cake that tastes like redemption. Then I wake up in his house, running his company, living his dream of bringing me home. The dream came true, just not how either of us imagined. Beverly and Harold gave me up the moment their checks stopped. Theodore never gave up, not even when his heart stopped beating. That's the difference between a transaction and love, between people who kept me and the one who loved me. Welcome home, son. I finally made it, Dad. I finally made it home.